All right, so this story right here is about me, two of my homeboys. We've been to this little hotel party, Halloween night, full moon. It was a cop, demonic as hell, just tripping, caught a fade and all that. So it was Halloween night. I was in Atlanta. I was living in Atlanta at the time, and me and the homies, like I had a homeboy from California. He was a power root homie. I had a homeboy from Michigan. The three of us, we was in Atlanta, and we was trying to go. It was Halloween night. We was trying to go to this little hotel party. So before we go, I tell the homies like, I need some weed. I'm trying to get some weed before I go. You feel me? So I called the other homie from New York. He from Queens. He at Damu. I called him up. He got the trees. He pull up or whatever. I think I bought like a quarter of trees from this nigga. He pull up like in a all black Altima. This is like 07, 08, but he pull up in like one of the newer Altimas or whatever. It's all black, and he got like a red bandana covering his license plate. You feel me? It's like a red rag covering his license plate. So I think I bought like a quarter of some trees from this nigga, and then I'm trying to see if he gonna come. He like, nah, he gonna make moves or whatever. Maybe I think he about to go with his homegirl, some shit go or whatever. You feel me? But me, then my Cali homeboy and my homeboy from Flint, we go to this little hotel party. So when we get there, shit's packed, right? Shit lit. It's crowded than a motherfucker. It's crowded in the hallways. It's crowded in the rooms. And the parking lot is crowded. So you don't even really go inside. We just like fuck it. We just gonna post up in the parking lot. We just like parking lot pimp the shit or whatever because it's just crowded than a motherfucker. Right. So posted up in the parking lot, like I said, it's packed, but it's like a gang of security guards. It's like a gang of security guards, and they all big as shit. They like 6'2", 6'3", 300-pound security guards and shit. They all got black shirts that say big body security and shit, right? So then it's this one cop in particular. This cop, he just demonic. Like he beating everybody's ass. It's like a gang of fights breaking out. It's like fight breaking out here, fight breaking out there, fight. You ever been to like a function or an event? It's just a gang of fights breaking out. It's exactly how it was, just like a gang of fights breaking out in the parking lot or whatever, right? So there's one particular cop, he like after every fight goes on, he'll break it up, but then he'll start beating niggas' asses who was fighting. Like the niggas who was in the fight or whatever, the cop would start beating one of their asses and shit, right? So there was this one particular fight that my homeboy from Flint, he knew one of the niggas who was fighting and shit. So this nigga, he was fighting by his car. The cop came and broke the fight up, and this car was parked by this curb, and the cop somehow got this nigga's face between like the tire and the curb, and he pinned this nigga's face down to the ground. He started swinging on this nigga, pow, 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 like 3 or 4 times and shit in the back of his head because his face was pinned down and shit. So the cop, like I said, he beating everybody's ass. He wilding the fuck out, right? So there's like a crowd surrounding this cop. Everybody got their little cell phones recording his ass and shit. So then me and my homeboy, he say some shit like, he say some shit to the cop. He like, yo, homie, you can't just be beating niggas' asses like that, right? So then the cop, he looks at the homie. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I'll beat your ass too, right? So the homie kind of stood back. He's like, damn, he looked at this nigga like, damn, this nigga really crazy or whatever. You can tell, like, this cop was on some shit. This nigga had to be like off. If I had to guess, this nigga was like maybe off coke and vodka or some shit. Like this nigga was high. You could tell this nigga was high off something in his face or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, he beating everybody. Every time it was a fight, he beating everybody's asses that get into a fight. Security guards too. They whooping niggas' asses and shit too, right? So like a little bit later, whatever, we just like me and the homie, we sitting on the curb. Me and a couple of homies, we sit on this little brick wall or whatever, and we just watching everything that's going on. We like watching all the fights and shit that go on or whatever, right? So out of nowhere, this one nigga, he come up out of nowhere, like about the hotel party, and he come up in the homie's face and in the Cali homie face, like he says some shit. I don't know, it's like a little, not really a back and forth, because like the Cali homie, he wasn't really trying to get into no bullshit because he was telling me he had warrants out or whatever, right? So he wasn't really trying to get into no shit, and he was trying to keep it like low key or whatever. This nigga came up out of nowhere, low key talking shit to the homie in his face, and he like all up in the nigga personal space, he up in my personal space, he up in the homie's space, he like real close to us, and talking shit or whatever, right? So the Cali homie, he didn't really say a whole lot. He was just kind of like, yeah, nigga, all right, nigga, you talking all this shit now, but when I see you again, you know what's on, you know what's happening, when I see you again or whatever, right? So he don't really say a whole lot, but then I ended up saying something, you feel me? Because I felt a certain way about this nigga just all up in the nigga's space, just coming up over here, random nigga talking shit or whatever, right? So I say, I'm like, I don't know, I say some shit like, hey, homie, how you just gonna come over here talking shit? Like, nigga, what's that? So then he looks at me, he was like, hey, homie, you must be his homeboy. He must be his homeboy. I was like, okay, nigga, and what's that? Nigga, why you up over here talking shit to niggas, whatever? He was like, nigga, you a bitch too, right? That's all nigga said, nigga, you a bitch too, right? So when he said it, he tried to walk off like quick as fuck. He tried to call me a bitch and then walk right off or whatever. So I tried to grab this nigga and stop this nigga from walking off, because my whole shit was, nigga, if you gonna call me a bitch, you gonna stay your ass right here until I can say something or do something back. Even if you just call me a bitch and walk off. You feel me? So when he tried to walk off, I tried to grab this nigga or whatever, right? So when I tried to grab this nigga, I had like a fitted on. So after I grabbed this nigga, he slapped the fitted off my head and shit, right? So then I stood up and squared up on this nigga. Or I stood up on this nigga like real quick, and I started to square up, but then he squared up. So when I approached this nigga, I swung on this nigga, boom. So when I swung on this nigga, I had missed this nigga. When I missed this nigga counted me and shit. He said, boom, he socked me in my eye and shit, right? So when he socked me in my eye, I fell down. And when I fell, in my head, I'm like, oh shit, I need to get my ass back up before this nigga packed me out or stomped me out and shit. Cause you know what I'm saying? You ain't, that nigga fell and shit or whatever, right? So I got back up, and when I got back up, my shit, I was, you know what I'm saying? My vision was kind of blurry and shit because this nigga hit me in my eye, so I couldn't really see too well in my eye. Plus, I was faded, and it was like a lot of shit going on because, like I said, the parking lot was packed or whatever. So I'm kind of looking like, where this nigga at? I can't see him. Where this nigga at? So then when I seen this nigga, I located. I walked up on it again. I tried to swing on this thing again. Boom. So when I tried to swing, I didn't get like a whole swing. I got like a half a swing in before the big bike security guards came through and tackled me from behind. So I said, boom, boom. And I fell down again and shit. So when the security guards, they tackled me and shit. When I tried to swing on this nigga, I was mad at the motherfucker. I was like, oh, fuck. So, because they tackled me and I fell down. And I'm mad this nigga swung on me and I couldn't get my head back or whatever, right? So the security guard, big-ass security guard, tackled me down. I'm pinned down to the ground. My homeboy from Cali, he tried to jump in, but security guard tackled him down. And nigga I was fighting and shit, they tackled him down. So we all pinned down to the ground by security guards. Police, cop comes, little crooked-ass cop, demonic-ass cop, he come through. He start talking shit. You stay your ass down, don't fucking move and shit. And then the security guard had me pinned down. He had like my face pinned down to the cement, and he had like a knee in my back or some shit. And he had one of my arms. He had one of my arms in cuffs. He was trying to put both my arms in cuffs or whatever. So he put one of my arms in cuffs, and he was trying to get my other arm. But the way my body was positioned, I couldn't really move or whatever because my face was pinned down one way or whatever, and I just couldn't move. This nigga had all his weight on me. This nigga was a big motherfucker. He had all his weight. I couldn't really move. He was like, "Give me your other arm. Give me your other arm." I was like, "I can't motherfucking move, nigga." Then the Paru homie, he started yelling all this gang shit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He like, oh blood, what's that, nigga? That's fucked up, blood. What we do, nigga? What we do? He yelling and shit, and I'm low key yelling, like telling this thing, I can't fucking move, nigga. I can't fucking move. He was like, nigga, turn your face around before I break your other arm, nigga. I was like, oh. So I turned my face around. When I turned my face around, I scraped up my whole shit or whatever. Like my whole face got scraped up because I had to turn it around in the cement. So it scraped up my whole shit or whatever. So then he I guess something fucked up in my shoulder, like the nigga broke my shoulder or some shit, like he dislocated my shit or whatever. And my shit was in cuffs, and I could feel it like something broke in my arm while it was in cuffs. So afterwards, the security guards and the police, they stood me and the homie up. They let the other nigga go. The nigga I was squabbling with, they let him go or whatever. The nigga, me and the homie or whatever, they stood us up, and they had to sit on the curb. And like I said, my homeboy said he had warrants or whatever, so he was trying to figure out what was going to happen after the shit. Like he wasn't trying to, get caught up and go back to jail or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So the homie was asking, like, nigga, hey, what's going to happen after this? Y'all going to take us to jail? Or y'all going to let us go? And the security guard was like, oh, don't worry, bro. We going to let y'all go. We do this shit all the time. We beat niggas' asses and we let them go home or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So the homie was like, okay, for sure, for sure. So the homie's just telling me, like, calm down, just chill, because I'm trying to get them to take me off these cuffs because they fucked up my arm. They fucked up my shoulder, and they still got me in cuffs, and my shit is like in a hell of pain or whatever. You feel me? So the homie's just telling me, like, just relax, just calm down, because they gonna let us go. You know what's up? Like, I got warrants and shit or whatever. I'm like, all right, for sure. So the police and the security guards, they finally take me out of cuffs or whatever. And then me and the homie, we go home or whatever. We go back to our little spot we had. It's a gang of homies up in the spot, and they all smoking and shit. So I go up in the crib. All the homies just like, damn, nigga, what happened to you? Nigga, your shit got fucked up. Nigga, we fucked you up or whatever, right? So they passed me a blunt or whatever, and I go in the mirror and I pull my shirt up, and my fucking bone is like popped out of place or whatever. So all the homies like, damn, nigga, your shit is fucked up. So they took me to the little hospital, took me to McGrady Hospital, which McGrady ain't shit. McGrady, fuck McGrady. They treated nigga like fucked up in McGrady. They had me up in the hospital, laid up in the bed. They didn't want to come help me out. So like an hour of me sitting laid up in the bed in hella pain and shit. I had to yell out for the nurses. Like, nurse was sounding like, y'all gonna come help me? Like, what's up? My shit is like fucked up and I'm in hella pain or whatever. So like an hour later, nurses finally came telling me, well, you can't be, you gotta be patient. We got other patients and shit. You can't be disrupting the other patients. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Y'all gonna help me with my shit? Like, what y'all gonna do? Like, my shit is fucked up. You see I'm fucked up. What y'all gonna do? So they finally gave me some morphine or whatever. Morphine had me out and shit. Like, that shit felt good, but that shit felt good than motherfucker. That shit had me out. And like maybe another hour or two later, doctor finally came and popped my shit back in place or whatever, and I was gone the next morning. You feel me? But yeah, that's pretty much how that story went. You feel me? Halloween night, took a fade for the homie, and a fucked up ass demonic ass cop beating everybody's ass and shit that night. You feel me? But yeah, YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, let me know about what you think about this story. You feel me? All right, for sure.